Greetings and salutations. This is Akirishin. By request in this video, I will be featuring the Focke Wulf FW-252 German fighter. This aircraft sports two 30mm cannons with very good damage per second. I would say about medium rate of fire and a very good effective range of 700 meters. I have upgraded this aircraft with Control Surface Adjustment 4 and Lightweight Airframe 4, both of which increase this aircraft's maneuverability. Also, because I think that, as with a lot of fighters, this aircraft's greatest strength are its cannons, I have upgraded with gyroscopic gun sight to give me an increase of 10% in accuracy for the cannons. Augmenting both of those, or all three of those upgrades, in pilot skills I have chosen Aerobatics Expert and Aerodynamics Expert, which, as you can see, enhances the control surface upgrade as well as the lightweight airframe upgrade. I've also chosen to go with Marksman 1, which again increases this aircraft's accuracy with the cannons. So my goal is to make this aircraft a killing machine by making it as agile as possible and as accurate as possible. This aircraft is excellent at intercepting other aircraft at high altitude, as you can see. Does have a vulnerable engine and is described as having good maneuverability in rolls and turns. So my hope is that by having these maneuverability upgrades, we can increase on that good maneuverability. Stats wise, the optimal altitude for this aircraft is 2,500 meters. Again, very good. And optimal airspeed is 674 kilometers per hour. So it is a high altitude performer, as I mentioned. To accentuate the cannon's deadliness, I have chosen to go with the high explosive ammunition for the increased crit chance. And in an effort to improve on the vulnerable engine, I did go with automatic engine restarter in case we have an issue with that. On this particular aircraft, I did go with the first aid kit because, as I've mentioned in other videos, having your pilot injured really incredibly decreases accuracy of your gun. So it's just very hard to hit anything. You can still hit other aircraft, but if your pilot is injured, it's much more difficult. And of course, I've gone with heavy-duty control surfaces so that if I am in a turning dogfight and maybe the other aircraft is getting the better of me with that, I can hit this and hopefully take the advantage. So I really, the aircraft is not so pretty on the ground, but in the air, it's a very attractive aircraft. Now, the interesting thing about this is it looks like the landing gear actually go up into the airplane by moving forward, retracting forward versus towards the rear, which is a little different than other aircraft we've looked at. Specifically, the ME 292. Oops, not the 292. Oh, the P 1101. As you can see here, the landing gear retract towards the rear. And as with most of the German fighters, the paint schemes, the camo schemes on this aircraft are really awesome. This is probably one of my favorites, the summer paint scheme. You can see that really looks good, really looks sharp. Winter. Desert. And finally marine, which I think also is very, very sharp. I mean, look at that. Really like that. Great detail on the cockpit, along with the, you can see the sight there. Of course, I have my Lucky 13, as I do with all these German aircraft. Alright, so let's go into a battle here and see how, so you can see how this aircraft performs in some PvP. Alright, so fantastic. We have drawn the new map, Road to Rome. Very excited to be able to feature that to you. And we will be going to the command center first, and then the airstrip. And then we'll see what happens from there. As usual, we want to take that command strip, command center, so that we can get those bombers in flight to keep the enemy aircraft busy. So I try to avoid close-in dogfights with this aircraft. You're better off maybe working on the peripheral of the battle, because it's not the best turning aircraft, even with all the upgrades that we have on it. See, it looks really nice flying. Alrighty.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
You can see it's kind of a little slow to turn there. Oh, almost ran into that radar antennae. So we'll get some altitude here. You can see it's got a 10-second engine boost, which is very reasonable. Definitely much better than some of the aircraft that have 6 seconds, which is like not long enough at all. So having those extra 4 seconds really helps. Okay, so we're going to look here for some low-held targets. I think we've got our first one, this MiG. here. Love the sounds of those 30 millimeters. And this is what we don't want. Close in fighting. Let's see, what are we dealing with here? Focke Wulf 252. So, what this aircraft is doing right now, we're shooting at, is how you want to try to avoid. He's going up, he's going down, he's going side to side. Excellent avoidance. And now he's kind of slowing down here. So we're almost... He's trying to get us to pass him, which is a really good strategy on his part. And we're taking some fire.
Attention all fighters. Enemy bombers detected. Destroy them.
Whew, finally. Let's see if we can get this guy here.
Centers are under our control. Communication with the headquarters established.
So I'm really relying heavily upon extend flaps and along with air brakes to try to make those hairpin turns. You're always going to turn better by slowing down just a little bit. If you think about a car, you know, if you're trying to turn in a car, if you're going too fast, you're not going to be able to turn as well.
The enemy is launching rockets at us from the military base. Take action.
Got to be careful with these Japanese jets, because when they hit the air brakes, they can slow down on a dime. You can fly right past them very easily.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
Don't know if I can catch this fellow. My boost is totally out of commission right now.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy?
Gotcha. Okay, picking our low health target. Let's get this ME 1099 hopefully. He may be low health, but it's a pretty tough aircraft.
They've almost got us.
So you got to take that into account. These Russian ground attack aircraft have become very popular, I've noticed. And they do very well in terms of scoring. I'm starting to see them a lot on the top of the score charts. I have not flown one myself yet, but they seem to be extremely popular. Ooh, that's a lot of red. Alright, so we'll pick our low health target and see what we can do here. Just try to maneuver as much as possible. Don't think we're going to come out of this.
You've done what you could. Go back to base.
Alright. So, flying start. Let's see here for effective fire for at least 5,000 combat points, 75 capture points, #1 spot. Alright, so unfortunately it was a defeat, but good performance for this aircraft. I think you can really see how strong of a player the 252 is. Alrighty. There are crows, as usual, welcoming us back. Alright, so 11 targets, aerial targets destroyed. 5 while defending. Over 9,000 combat points. We outscored in combat points even the #1 player on the enemy team. Let's see. 6 aircraft destroyed for their #1 player. So you can really see how strong of an aircraft this is. It's a lot of fun to fly. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you get a chance to play the Focke Wulf FW-252 German fighter.